Hello once again YouTube, Chris and I bringing you some StarMade news updates, and today we are taking a look at stable build 0.188, I believe, and this is the latest addition to StarMade. It's the GUI update, and this was the focus of the last video as well, where I covered, newsy type stuff, and well, there's a few things I missed, and they're pretty important things that I think everybody should know about, so we're gonna go and cover these new features and the things that I missed since the last video. Of course you know that this is the update to the GUI, so if I open up the nav menu and let's go over to the shop, because we're going to be talking about the shop quite a bit, wherever the shop is. I have too many things here, too many things. Go over to the shop, and press B, and you could see that there's, all sorts of changes to the windows. Of course, like, you can move things around, you can rescale things. There's an options menu for a shop that you own, which is absolutely crazy. I have 1 billion credits in my inventory. That's nuts. I did not know that. So yeah, everything looks good now. Everything looks better. We have a new radar, we have new overlays on the HUD, we have new windows for the GUI, all sorts of stuff. A lot of things that have feature lists you can now search and filter by, typing in a name. So let's say I wanted to look up red. And now it shows me everything in the game, or in the shop at least, that is red. Red crystal armor, red paint, red hull, red dirt, red rock, red lights, decorative screens, and all the armors and hulls. It's amazing, and I love it. And you can do this with many menus. If I go into the catalog and I type in Templar, well, now I can find my Templar blueprint pretty damn quickly. Or, for example, Amar. Now I am looking at all the Amar ships that I personally have in my blueprints folder. Yes, that is all of them, and it's a fuck ton. I understand that. Minmatar. Oh wow. Look at that. So many blueprints. But I can filter by ownership? Oh my god, I could filter by my own. I could filter by my faction. Oh wow. That is crazy. And you can even filter it by your the owner, the person that made it. Now, I'm gonna apologize. I am still sick, so I'm gonna, say sorry if I cough or something right now, because I'm gonna do that probably. But we can see up here that there is a only 2 tabs. And it looks like the personal and the available tabs have been combined into one, which makes sense. There really is no need to have 3 different tabs where 2 of them could be combined. So now it's just the admin, which of course shows you everything, and the blueprints, which shows you all of your personal ships, which you can of course filter by own, and all of your available ships, which of course you can filter by owner, or again, own or faction and all that stuff, or name. So it's really, really nice that these types of features are being added, because it just, they're like things that like lots of people would like, and in some games people might consider putting them in, but like this is just like a lot of, like, these are just like lots of amazing features that I feel like a lot of people would skip over in their games. And this StarMade game is like, oh my god, it's doing everything that we need. And it's not even, like, nobody even cares. No, like, do it. It's good. It's great. That's why it makes this game good. So, now that I'm done discussing that, let's see. Of course, we have the new radar, which we'll see a little bit of action in a few seconds. Let's go to this. Let's go over to the next system, and let's check out some asteroids. So, if I bring up the nav menu, you could see all the asteroids here, and they now tell you what they are rich in, what resources you can find on each of the asteroids. So this asteroid is rich in Parson and Parstun minerals and crystals and ore, Farah and Zirconer, Bastin and Fertikine, and I can target it, of course, and look around and find it. It should be noted that it looks like, okay, so I'm going to take a guess here, because I was skeptical about the radar before, and I wasn't sure if I liked how it was, portrayed, because it didn't look like it was really working that great. So if I look in that direction, those rocks are quite clearly in the next sector. And if we look at the radar, it almost appears as if there's sector lines. Starting from the center and moving out, you can see just how far each of these sectors are, approximately. The first line, the first circle surrounding my spaceship, you can see the spaceship is kind of like that little green dot in the middle. That first circular line that surrounds me is, quote-unquote, the sector that I'm in. The next sector out is a sector away, and the next line is the next sector away. So if we look at these asteroids, and we look at the radar, and we can see that as I move, the asteroids that I'm in front of, or that are in front of me, are moving up with blue lines connecting them to my plane, right? And that's because they're above my plane right now. They're off screen, which means they're above my plane. If you want to know what the plane I'm talking about is, I'm just real quickly going to explain this in case some people don't understand. This is the plane I'm talking about, right? It's a flat plane extending out from my ship. So if I look at these asteroids, and I look this way, you can see that they're extending with blue lines, and those blue lines connect on the bottom with that white line to my plane, right? So now, if I look back over at those asteroids, and that blue line is gone, which means that they're on my plane. They're pretty much right on level with me. But if I move down, face down, they grow up. If I go up, they face down. So I'm guessing that those asteroids, since they're a sector away, are also displayed in the first ring outside of my sector. I don't know, it's kind of weird to explain, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying, because it looks as if they've got a general guideline for how far things are in terms of sectors. And I don't know if the radar will change to, reflect that. If you, for example, change the sector size, I don't know if it'll reflect that when you change that. But who knows? I'm hoping that's the case. Anyway, we're done talking about the radar. Let's move on. One feature that was fixed was alt-tabbing back into the game. If you have a windowed client open and you tab out of the game and you tab back in, or you click on the client, it will do a random mouse click, and like sometimes, personally, I would almost suicide, or I would shoot a weapon, or I would, just all sorts of random stuff, place a block where I didn't mean to, or open up a dozen menus. That no longer is a problem, apparently, and you can alt-tab out of the game and alt-tab back into the game. I would like to mention right now that, for example, you'll see that all of the tabs are now at the top of the screen. If you have a windowed client open, you will not be able to see them if it's filling the screen, because the bar for the window covers this up, and I think that should be addressed. And I would just like to point that out to the devs, that you cannot click on any of these tabs when the window is full screen in windowed mode. Just want to point that out. Hopefully that gets to somebody that I know that can fix that or address that or tell it to Schema. But let's move on. So real quick, actually, let's go back to the nav menu, and look, we can save coordinates now. Something that I didn't mention in my last episode. You can save coordinates. You can type in whatever name you want, and you can load up coordinate. I have the Amar home base right here. It tells you the distance and the coordinates. I can delete it or plot it, and the number of available bookmarks per person is configurable from the config file for each server. So I have, I think the default is 20, and I've just set my waypoint by clicking on that, and as you can see, it's drawn the plot line to the home base, which is glowing right here. I'm going to admin warp, and look at that, it's super nice and easy. Super nice and easy. I'm going to have all sorts of bookmarks saved soon. Let's see. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to come over to this station. You can save stations as blueprints now, something that I, again, did not mention. If you get into build block and you save it, just like you would save a ship, you can get a blueprint. I think... Nope, I had one. I have one no longer, so let me get into this. Catalog. Save blueprint of infrastructure. Space station. Okay. Now we're going to search for it. Space station. There it is. Buy the blueprint. It cost 1 million credits. And now, if I open up my inventory, I have a blueprint. You cannot drop the blueprint into the trash. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it appears that this and possibly other meta items won't be able to be dropped into the trash. I don't know. You can, of course, drop items into the trash. You cannot do it a stack at a time. I'm going to drop those hotel crystals into the trash, though. So that's pretty cool. I don't need that, and I'm actually going to delete it from my catalog, because I don't want a space station blueprint in my catalog. What else? Of course, updated shop descriptions, all sorts of things have been addressed there and updated. There are a few new blocks, which I haven't really gotten a chance to show you, so I'll show you those now. One of them being scaffolding. It looks pretty good. Personally, I'm going to be using this a lot on Minimatar ships. We also have decorative charts. Ooh, that texture is like sideways. Interesting. Well, that is interesting. I think they're going to have to mess around with that a little bit just to make sure that when it's on its default positioning or orientation that these charts all start at the right direction or face the right direction. So we have decorative charts. It doesn't seem to combine with the other decorative panels in your inventory. The other decorative block that we have now is a conduit, a blue conduit filled with blue liquid, which looks pretty sweet. I must admit, it does look pretty good. And I suppose if you try, you can direct that in any direction with your eye, you know, the illusion of being able to direct that, considering, well, maybe not, I actually don't know. It depends on how the animation works, whatever. But it has a nice tile top. You cannot change the orientation of this, but that's okay, I don't really think that's necessary. Also, there is entirely the possibility that this will be the only conduit block added, or at least in the foreseeable future, simply because of the way we're you know, doing texture sheets and stuff with the game. You know, they don't want to waste time or waste resources on a texture sheet dedicated mostly to decorative and color variants of a block. If we come over here, there's one more texture change that has been added, and that is the change to the damage overlay. So you can see I've shot at this ship over here quite a bit, and there's a new damage overlay. This is still a work in progress. Kupu has been working on this and continues to work on this after this update. So we may see an update to this in the future. Right now, it's personally, I'm hoping that there's an update, because this is kind of like gross. I'm not really a fan of this. On the darker hull, like right here, it actually looks pretty good. But on Whitehall, you can really clearly see that it's like this texture, and I'm not really sure it suits the whole look. And this one is slightly more damaged than this one, but it doesn't really look like it's changed all that much. It just looks darker. So I don't know, if I shoot at this ship, should see that. But yeah, there's a possibility that we'll be seeing some like burning holes in the final like stages of the damage overlay, the final 2 frames or whatever, which will be really good. So I'm pretty sure that I've covered pretty much everything. There's been a major bug fix concerning players that cannot save their progress. A lot of people using the Steam, well, not even that, but a lot of people on Steam's forums have been complaining about the fact that they cannot save progress. Why can't I undo? No, I can't undo. Yeah, so those players will hopefully be able to save their progress, and they won't have to worry about that anymore, which is really good. What else is there? That was a bug fix, of course. Upcoming updates include changes to the chat system. We are going to get a new chat system that involves, you know, groups and tabs on the chat system and whatnot, and so like we'll be able to, like, you know, switch back and forth between different chat channels, so to speak, which will be really good. The rail system, of course, is the next major feature update, which we will be seeing progress working towards on a faster and more regular basis, apparently. This GUI update, of course, has taken up quite a bit of time, and it's taken quite a while to get here. But hopefully the rail system will be out much faster, and maybe only in a few weeks' time instead of like a month or 2. And of course, performance and optimization will always continue to happen, and we may be seeing updates solely focused on that as well in the upcoming changes. So, that was some of the updates to the game. I am going to actually jump out and... Oh god, should I? Let me fly up here. I am Chris the Nightbringer. If you want to see more of these updates, subscribe. I am doing these as often as I can when major features to the game come out, and I think it's pretty important that, you know, you guys get the full disclosure on all these updates so that you guys know what's new with the game. There may, of course, be things that I missed, so if you want to read about all the updates yourself, you can check it out in the dev blog, which will be posted. There will be a link posted in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching. Leave your feedback down below, and I will see you all next time.